So a couple days ago, I actually made a video talking about how the Richmond Football Club potentially will have a father-son prospect in 2025. And obviously, this is a massive deal for Richmond fans like myself, because if I'm being honest here, we get about one father-son every 10 or so years, and as soon as they get drafted to the team, they end up playing like Gabe Vincent has with the Los Angeles Lakers, or like Deshaun Watson has with the Cleveland Browns. Again, if any of you follow those sports teams around the world and have to watch those players play, again, I feel very bad for you. And obviously I'm talking about Patrick Naish when it all comes to this. Again, shout out Patrick Naish. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, enough about roasting AFL players for no reason whatsoever, like they touch me without consent. The reason I'm making this video, of course, today is because, wouldn't you know, Collingwood, of course, have a father-son coming in 2025. Again, I think it's about their 18th in the last 4 years, and it so happens to be that, yet again, this father-son prospect is, of course, ranked very, very high in the class. I believe at the time making this video, being about top 25, and again, about a year ago, he was ranked about top 10 officially. So there's a lot going on right now. Again, I am talking about Tom McGuane, obviously, which, again, he has already had a lot of news and traction. You know, Collingwood fans, they like to get very excited over their prospects and, of course, future father-sons, because why wouldn't you? They've got 100,000 different ones coming up. But again, before I do get into, obviously, everything we know so far with the Tom McGuane situation and Collingwood, there is still a decent amount of you guys who watch these videos who are not yet subscribed to the channel. So if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for latest AFL content, news, and more. Of course, it would make me feel very good about myself. But again, it is being said that another son of a gun is on the way for Collingwood. Tom McGuane, the song, I had one job and I already cooked it. The son of Magpies premiership player Mick has impressed at junior level this year and looks on track for a career at the top level when he becomes eligible for the draft at the end of 2025. A lightly built left footer, McGuane has been a standout for the Western Jets in the Colts Talent League, including a 32 disposals and 2 goals against Tasmania last month. Still just 16 years old, AFL.com.au's trade and draft expert Callum Toomey says McGuane is a player Pies fans can get excited about for the 2026 season and beyond. He goes on to say, he's a lighter-bodied, smaller player, a very smart and nifty player, Toomey said on Gettable this week. He kicked 2 goals and had 32 touches against Tasmania a couple weeks ago. He looks to be an exciting talent who reads the game really well. They will get first access to him under the father-son rule, so that's something they'll have to plan ahead for. The Pies have benefited from the father-son rule in recent years, with skipper Darcy Moore the son of Peter, and the Dacos brothers, sons of Peter. That's, of course, talking about Peter Moore and Peter Dacos. Again, that was kind of worded really poorly. Obviously, key pillars in their premiership win last season. Again, should Tom McGuane be picked up by the Magpies next year, he would be the 7th son of a 1990 premiership player to be drafted to the Pies under the father-son rules. While McGuane Jr.'s appear to be on track to join the Pies, how much the club would have to give up to get him remains to be seen. The AFL's competitive balance review is in the final stages, with the AFL Commission meeting this week to discuss possible changes to draft and trade rules. Again, we did actually get those changes because this is an article from like a month or so ago, so there are going to be some different father-son and academy rules, but from what I know, they didn't really change it as much as they were acting like they were going to, so I don't think this really affects Collingwood too much. But again, this is what Tom McGuane looks like. Of course, still a really young, light-bodied player, like I, of course, did mention as well. The thing is with this, obviously, Collingwood have just had such great luck with a lot of their father-sons, and of course, their best players right now are legitimate father-son players. You've, of course, got Nick Dacos, who was a Brownlow contender, and then Josh Dacos, who won the Collingwood Best and Fairest of only last season. There is still a lot going on right now at Collingwood, and they're looking to legitimately add more and more, and I think it's really scary for the comp. Now look, we can argue about whether or not Collingwood have enough young talent. Again, it's very much been described over the media and very much been publicized that Collingwood have not only one of the oldest lists we've ever seen, but by far the oldest list in the AFL, with I think over 10 players or something being over 30, which is very, very insane to see. Of course, this has definitely caught a lot of criticism from not only, I think, officials and, those in the media, but I think Collingwood fans with some different opinions being presented on whether or not they should have kept their picks instead of moving for Lachie Schultz, and whether or not moving forward with the trade of Dan Houston and trading away another first round pick was a good idea, etc., etc. Again, everyone has their different opinions, and I think the 2025 AFL season is going to be really telling on whose opinions are right. Again, if Collingwood don't make the 8, then all of those opinions on them, having too much of an old list and not emphasizing enough on their young list will be right. But then if they do make the 8 and then furthermore go on to contend for a premiership, then it's obvious that these trades for Schultz and Houston and signing of Perryman were very, very beneficial. Again, whether you sit on the drafting side of things or the, of course, going full inside of things, we can clearly see here that Collingwood have a plan. It looks for the future, and even though they don't have their first round pick next season, they are clearly going to get a very, very promising young player in a Tom McGuane, who will automatically, I think, come in and help this team out, and hopefully for them try and replace a Scott Pendlebury, I think, long term. Again, of course, whether or not they do really well next year or not, I still think they're going to have a lot of retirements. You're going to see Pendles probably retire, Sidebottom probably retire, Jeremy Howe retire, as well as another couple others I think are very much in contention to retire. So they'll, of course, need to go and hit the draft. And I think they will, considering there will be an opportunity next season as well to trade future picks. If Collingwood really wanted, they could try and hit next year's draft, I think, pretty extremely. They could obviously try and trade to get in another first round pick to have in that tier, of course, before Tom McGuane gets bid on. And when Tom McGuane gets bid on, most likely at the end of the first round pick at the moment, you could be in a situation where Collingwood are like, look, we can bring in 2 first round picks straight away to come in and help these players, come in and help this depth that we're already building, and come in and prove those people wrong who say we don't have enough good young players, and get things back on track that way. So it will be interesting to see how Collingwood do go about this. The thing is, as I said, it looks like there's another McGuane boy coming through, and knowing Collingwood over the next 5 years, they've probably got another couple father-son players here and there, and even an academy player or 2 or something like that. I legitimately would not be surprised at all. So again, I think some of the hate on Collingwood and their process has been a little bit forced. I think, obviously, looking back at it, the Lachie Schultz trade wasn't probably that good, but in saying that, Lachie Schultz really hasn't had a key forward to play under since he's been there. They've, of course, been all injured. And I think moving to get Dan Houston, who I think is arguably the best halfback in the game, and Harry Perryman, who is not only a really good defender, but a guy who thinks he has the capabilities to be a good midfielder, was a really good thing for the Pies. And I'm interested and excited to see how they're, of course, going to move forward with all this. But again, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all latest footy content, sports content, all of the above. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below, of course, on what do you guys think about Collingwood having another father-son prospect. Again, it would mean a lot to hear all your thoughts and opinions, and how you guys think about this Collingwood, transition into their next period on trying to win a premiership. Do you guys like how they've gone about it, or do you guys not? Of course, I'd very much like to know. But yeah, as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.